In this episode of John's Arcade, well, we're gonna kind of do some NEO GEO stuff. Not really sure what's gonna happen or how it's gonna turn out, but we're gonna try and just kind of play with it, and maybe something good will come of it. I don't know. And then we're gonna come back to the table and do some viewer mail. And guys, listen, we got a few days left. We've got like, well, we got less than a week, okay? So if you guys want a John's Arcade t-shirt, you have till March 17th, 2015. Go to teespring.com/John's Arcade. That's TEE spring.com/John's Arcade. You have till March 17th to order that t-shirt. If you don't get it, that's it. You will not be able to get that t-shirt again. teespring.com/John's Arcade. All right, guys, let's get on with the show. Hey guys, we are in the basement, and today we're gonna do a John's Arcade game play video. That is right, guys, we are gonna revisit an old friend. That's right, our NEO GEO 4-slot, because you know what? I am kind of NEO GEO crazy. I don't know what it is, but I'm all about it. I decided to pull that multi-cart out, and well, I've been revisiting some cartridges because, you know, I actually used to have a bunch of cartridges, you know, because I bought out an operator a long time ago. I bought, I don't know, like 20 or 30 carts, and I actually lent some of them to my buddy Adam. You guys know Adam at One Circuit. And I said, Adam, did I loan you a few NEO GEO carts a few years ago? And he's like, yeah, you did. I'm like, you know what, can I get those back? Because I'm kind of into the NEO GEO right now, and I'd like to play some of them. I don't even remember what I lent you, Adam. So Adam came over on Saturday, and he brought me my NEO carts that I lent him. And these are the games that I had. And so I have Bomberman, which is actually a very rare cartridge and a really cool game. Metal Slug 3, okay, which is a classic. I mean, come on, Metal Slug. Everybody likes Metal Slug. Top Players Golf, a little okay, a little meh. This game, well, actually, this is a football game. It says it in Japanese. And then we have Baseball Stars 2, which is one of my favorite games of all time on the NEO GEO. But the game I thought we'd play today is actually one that I actually really missed. Of all these cartridges, the one game that I missed the most that I lent Adam was Bomberman, NEO Bomberman. I mean, you guys know Bomberman. Come on, this is a great game. I used to play this all the time. What was it on the Super Nintendo? Where did I play Bomberman? I used to play it a lot. Because it's a great, like, multiplayer game, you know, because you're kind of, like, fighting each other and dropping bombs. It's actually a really cool game. And I used to play Bomberman actually a lot on the DS. There was a DS version that was really awesome. And you could do local multiplayer. I think that was the most I ever played Bomberman. I think it was the DS version. But, yes, they made a version. Hudson Soft made a version for the NEO GEO. And I thought we'd play this in tonight's video. Now, this cartridge, again, I got this from an operator. I have no idea if this is legit or not. Is this a real cart? I don't know. Because this is actually a very expensive cartridge. So I thought before we'd start here, we'd open it up, because I'm actually curious. I've never opened this cartridge up, and I'm actually interested to see if it is a bootleg. So I thought we'd go through that exercise really fast. So let's go over here. So I went on Google and I just typed in MVS scans. Because, you know, the NEO GEO, the 4-slot, is an MVS system. And so I Googled MVS scans, and here we go. We've got a scan of what the PCBs should look like inside the cartridge there. So I thought we'd open this up, and let's see what's going on. Is this a bootleg? Is it a conversion? Is it original? I sure would like it to be an original, because this is a very valuable cartridge. So these cartridges just have 4 screws on the top. So let's go ahead and just quickly unscrew this. And let's just take a peek at the PCBs that are in here. And if we're lucky, this is an original cart, and that would be actually pretty awesome if it was. So, all right, let's open this up. I got all 4 screws off. Now, when you open these up, I know I showed this to you guys before, but when you open this up, you need to be careful of the label here, because we don't want to trash this. I suspect, though, this is not an original label, because the original label was all in Japanese, and this game I don't even think was released in the US. So, and the texture on this cartridge material is a little suspect. It feels very different than the other NEO GEO carts. Okay, so here we go. So right away, you could see that these are windowed EEPROMs, okay? And you can see that there's like labels that were removed from here. So this definitely looks like a program, a conversion cartridge here. And if you look at that, there's some jumper wires. I'm sure, I mean, absolutely, this has to be a conversion cart. I mean, look at this thing. Someone hacked this and did some little voodoo here. So they converted some legit game into this. And I remember this did work just fine. And it's interesting to me that, and by the way, you know, just for reference here, this is how it's supposed to look, you know. So if you look on the computer, that's how the cartridge is supposed to look on Bomberman. And you can see that the EEPROMs, they don't have windows. They're mask ROMs. These are just EEPROMs that are burned one time, and you can't erase them and rewrite them. Whereas my cartridge has ROMs that were created from windowed EEPROMs. So someone made this. So yeah, this is not legit. I kind of suspected it because that Mr. Do cartridge, which I also got from that same operator, that was also some kind of conversion cart. So, whatever. I didn't pay a lot for this stuff. I bought a whole lot of games from this guy. I don't even remember what I spent. I think I gave him a couple $100, and I probably left with like, I don't remember, 20 or 30 games, you know, which isn't a lot of money, really. You know, $10 a cartridge kind of thing. And it was an operator, I think, that was just getting out of the business, and I went to like his apartment or something and sat in his kitchen, and he pulled all these NEO GEO cartridges out. It was a guy in New Hampshire, and I actually went up there with Mark Spaeth, and we also went in his basement, and he had like, because he also had another house that he took us to, and I think we met at his son's apartment, and his son had all the cartridges at his apartment, and then the old man was there, and the guy's like, oh yeah, I've got more stuff in my house, in my basement, and then Mark Spaeth and I went to his house. It was like late at night. It was really weird, and we went in his old house and in his basement, and he had stacks and stacks and stacks of PCBs. I mean, like, it was like endless PCBs and a lot of Atari stuff. Tempest PCBs, Asteroids. Mark Spaeth actually ended up taking all of those, because at the time, I wasn't really interested in the PCBs because I didn't have any of those games, but today, if I would have went there, I would have grabbed those PCBs. So anyway, all right, so we're going to still try this. Yeah, it's a bootleg, kind of a bummer. I did print out some mini marquees. This is what the original marquee looked like, and I found this online. I just Googled, like, Bomberman NEO GEO mini marquee, and this came up. This is kind of a lower res image, but this is what the original looked like. And then NES Jess made kind of a fan version right here. So I don't know, which one should we put in? I'm kind of leaning towards the original because that's just kind of my style. But NES Jess did a pretty good job on this one. You can get this at Arcade Crusade. They have a lot of marquee scans on there. Some of it fan created, some of it original scans. But I think we're going to go with the original right now. So let's go over to the NEO GEO. Let's put this in. Let's play us some Neo Bomberman. And I haven't played this game in a few years because I think Adam actually had my cartridges for like 2 or 3 years. So I'm actually interested and excited to revisit this game because I actually don't remember much about it. And hopefully the cartridge still works. And yes, this is a dedicated 4-slot, you know, the kids call it the Big Red, you know. And so let's open it up. And right now the cartridges I have in here now are, well, we've got Robo Army, Nightmare in the Dark, which happens to be a bootleg I got on eBay. Bust a Move Again, which I believe is 100% legit. Blazing Star, which is legit. We opened that up. I don't really want to have bootleg and conversion carts, but sometimes you just kind of get them. You know, sometimes intentionally. You know, the Nightmare in the Dark one, I kind of knew that was a bootleg on eBay from China, but the price was really right. Because that Nightmare in the Dark cartridge is very expensive. So yeah, that's just kind of what happens, you know. So all right, I got the game off. Let's pull out a cartridge. I guess we'll pull out Robo Army. Nothing personal against Robo Army because was it Jason sent me this? He sent me this, one of the viewers. So thank you, pal. We're just gonna pull it out so we can test the Bomberman because it's in the first slot. And so here's our little triangle. We want this to be facing us. So let's go ahead and put this in. And hopefully this cartridge works. Because like I said, I haven't tried this cart in a few years. So let's go ahead and turn the system on.
On your mark.
And while it's booting, I'm going to start changing out the mini marquee up top.
Get set.
I'm actually kind of excited here because I actually really like this game. This is a cool game. All right, so it's booting. So far, so good. And looks like it works. So let's go ahead and pull out our Robo Army mini marquee, and we'll stick in our little printout of the original Japanese Bomberman. There you go. How's that look? Looks pretty sharp, right? Okay, so let's play some Bomberman. So, have you guys played Bomberman before? This is actually, I think, a pretty big franchise, really. I mean, this has been on like every single system ever, and I think it's pretty cool they released an arcade version. I don't think a lot of people realize that, but this is it. Sorry, all right, let's press start. Do we have sound? I'm actually a little paranoid right here. Because my Mr. Do, remember the sounds, says 5 stages in all in story form. During a game, a second player can join in. All right, so we want to play normal or battle. Boy, I'm not hearing any sound. That has me a little worried. There's no sound. Son of a gun. Now, I played this before and there was sound. And this is another one of those conversion carts like the Mr. Do. So what do we make of that? So we're dropping bombs here trying to kill the guys, and the bombs are going to fire like in a cross pattern. And they only go so far. But we have no sound. Let's get out of here. Oops, I just died. So I'm curious about this. So should we try another slot? Should we turn this off? What should we do here? I mean, obviously the sound in my NEO GEO works because all the other cartridges work. So should we try resetting this? Something's loose in here, by the way. Let me try, let's try resetting the cartridge, see if anything... Yeah, I just blew on it like it's a NES cartridge. We might try a different slot, too, because I remember playing this game before and the sound worked. Alright, that doesn't look good. That cartridge is not in right. You know, this is the kind of stuff that does happen with the NEO GEO. It's not all roses. Because the slots get dirty, the carts get dirty. But we got no sound here, so something is clearly not right. So I'm going to go ahead. I mean, do we want to play the game with no sound? Is that still fun? Is it? I'm going to try another slot. Let's pull out this cartridge here, which is Nightmare. And let's put this in the second slot. I'm just curious to see if we get any different kind of results. So it's rebooting. I do hate how long the NEO GEO reboots because you got to sit here and go through this stupid screen, and the winners don't do drugs, and William Sessions, Director, FBI. All right, so here's the cartridge. We have sound. Oh, now look at that. We have some kind of sound.
On your mark.
What was that all about? Huh. I don't know what to make of this. All right, I'm curious still. Let's try it in one more slot. I'm just trying to kind of rule stuff out here. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with my NEO GEO, but I'm going to try it in the last slot. Right now, we only have 2 cartridges in the system. All right, so let's reboot it. Doo-doo-doo. So it should boot to the 3rd slot first, which is Bust a Move. Actually, it booted to the last slot. No sound. All right, well, I guess this cartridge is hosed. What do we do? Do you guys want to play this with no sound? it's really interesting to me that this has no sound, and also my NEO Mr. Do cartridge didn't have any sound. Hang on, let me try something. Okay guys, you know, I was just playing around with my NEO GEO, and I have to tell you something. Lately, I've been thinking that the sound on my NEO GEO wasn't right, okay? And so I started swapping actually, I put it in test, right? And you come into sound test here in the service menu, and it says sound test, sound off, right, left, and center. Well, when I came into test, and I tried doing the sound test, it did nothing. No sound at all, okay? So I went into the other dip switch settings, and I turned on, I don't know where the other tests are. How do we get out of here? But there was a setting, though, for a track sound, and I turned it on, okay? And I was turning my system on and off, and I noticed that it started playing the NEO GEO boot song because I turned the attract sound on, okay? And the attract sound, the boot sound sounded like really weird, like not normal. I'm like, what is going on here? And then I put it in the test mode, and it wasn't playing any of the sounds in the sound test mode. I go to right, I go to left, I go to center, and so I started like swapping cartridges out. I pulled out that Bomberman cartridge, and then I put in the Football Frenzy cartridge, and then I turned it on, and then all of a sudden, I heard this sound, this glorious, like, stereo sound that I haven't heard, I think, in a long time. I think that for a long time here, my NEO GEO, the sound has not been right. And I think that I just fixed it, and I don't even know how. All I was doing was swapping cartridges, but now, that works, left, center. It's playing all three channels. Before, I think it was only playing like one or two channels. And then I went into Bust a Move, and the game sounded amazing, like better than I've ever heard it before. So if we were to turn it off right now, you guys can hear the NEO GEO. By the way, you guys like this? This is actually not what I intended for. Listen. That is the glorious boot up sound, okay? It's playing right now because I turned the attract sounds on. Normally I have the sounds off, but I haven't heard that glorious sound like in a long time because I've had the attract sounds off. So that's fine. And then I started playing Bust a Move, and the music just sounds better, like there's more channels. I'm wondering now if I had a cartridge that was in here that was kind of messing with my settings, with my sound. I honestly, right now, I don't know what's happening. It's very strange. But I don't remember the sounds in this game sounding this good. My wife plays this more than I do, so I have to ask her. But I always hear her playing it. I don't remember that. Hear that little ratcheting sound? I don't remember that. So I don't know what to make of this. I'm curious if I go back into the settings, if I turn the attract sounds off, which is what I want, because those would drive me insane. And I don't know. I don't even know what this video is now, because my intention was to play Bomberman, and now I'm kind of scared to put that bootleg cartridge in my system, because when I put that in there, it screws up my sound completely, and I'm starting to think now, these bootleg carts are probably not a good idea, guys. I gotta actually reset this to get. I went into the wrong system. Turning my system on and off repeatedly isn't good either, but this is interesting. So I think what we're gonna end up playing right now is that football game. I hope you guys don't mind. You know what? I don't want to put that Bomberman cartridge in my system. I just don't. I don't trust it, and because that was really weird. So let's go in the hardware, setting up the soft tip cabinet, and I want demo sounds off, okay? Because that will drive me insane. Football Frenzy, demo sound without, Nightmare in the Dark, demo sound off, Bust a Move, demo sound off, Blazing Star, demo sound without. So I think what we're gonna do in this video, we're just gonna play some Football Frenzy. And so right now though, we're not gonna hear that boot up sound because I turned it off. See, we're not hearing that because I have the demo sounds off, but I do want to make sure all my other sounds are fine now. Boy, that's really weird. I have to tell you. So that sounds great. By the way, Bust a Move Again is freaking awesome. It is such a good game. So I'm just gonna kill myself. I really want to play. I really want to play Football Frenzy. Because I don't actually think I've ever really played Football Frenzy. Boy, that's really weird. I don't know what to make of that. I just don't. And I think that Blazing Star... Ah, shit, I started a game. And I think the sounds in Blazing Star sounded better. I'm just curious, because I had you guys tell me that my sounds were missing in Blazing Star, and I kind of dismissed it, and maybe I was wrong. Because I thought that maybe the sounds that you guys were hearing, the microphone, weren't what I was hearing in the basement here, because the microphone sometimes doesn't pick up all the sounds properly. So let's just try this real quick. This is a legit cart.
Get ready.
Yeah, I don't know if this sounds any different. It's really loud. Just gonna turn the volume down. All right, let's die. Maybe you guys can tell me if the sounds right now sound different than when I did the last Blazing Star video. All right, so we're gonna play some Football Frenzy because, well, I don't think I've ever played it. It actually sounds kind of fun to me. Yeah, I know, I intended to play Bomberman, but hey, this is what happened. All right, so let's select Football Frenzy, which I think might be kind of fun, actually. Kind of just a very different game for me. All right, come on, get out of here. Blah, blah, blah. All right. All right, so we're going to select Football Frenzy. And we're going to play one player versus the computer. Who should we be? The Wolves, the Scuds, the Pitbulls, or the Cobras? Let's be, I guess we're going to be that guy, the Cobras. So this is a tournament, a bracket tournament? That's kind of cool. Wow, you know what? Actually, I might get into this. This could be, looks kind of like Tecmo Bowl. Receives kickoff.
The kickoff starting the first quarter.
All right, so what are our controls here? Hey, this is kind of fun. All right, so first down, want to do a pass play? Yeah, let's do that. Let's select our play. Should we do the shotgun? Wow, that was fast. B, come on! No! Oh, I'm still up. There we go. All right, so I gotta figure out how to do this. Let's try another pass play. All right, so this play, the B is gonna go like that. Let's do this shotgun. The B guy's gonna go up and over. So we're gonna pass the B. All right, B, get open. Oh! So I gotta kind of wait till he's in position, huh? All right, let's do a run play. So... Wow. Oh my God. So what is it, fourth now? All right, we're gonna kick. I just kicked the ball like 30 yards. That wasn't very good. All right, so we're on D. Wow, this game's actually kind of neat. Hey, we saw the play he picked.
Have the ball.
Turnover. Pass play. Shotgun. All right, we're going to throw to B. Go. Let's wait till B gets in position. There we go. Yes! Oh, no! Dude. I totally was there for that. We're going to try that again. I'm throwing to B again. Come on, B. Just throw it, throw it. Ah. All right. What? How do you catch? Am I supposed to push a button to... Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that. I should have kicked. Oh, we caught it! Is that first down? No. I pressed A that time. I don't know if that matters. We can, like, see what this guy's doing. It's interesting. Oh, no! Third down and 2, huh? Uh-oh. Oh, no! Touchdown! I think our game's about to end. No! Ah! It's 6-0. It's really weird that we can see him picking the play. Oh, and point after goal.
End of quarter. That's the end of the first quarter.
Data save? Yeah, let's save that. Well, all right. What did you guys think of that football? I don't want to play. You want to play another quarter? That's kind of cool, right? Yeah, actually, it wasn't bad. I'm going to try to play that some more and try to figure out what the hell's going on. So, Football Frenzy. So, yeah, this is kind of a strange video, isn't it? Should I release this? I'm actually thinking right now that I'm not going to release this video. Is this a video that you guys want to see? I'm actually thinking to myself right now, is this video even worth putting out? You know, it's kind of a weird one because I don't get what happened here in this video because it's like I fixed the sound on the NEO GEO, but I didn't really do anything except move cartridges around and reseat cartridges. And I'm starting to wonder that if my PCB was at fault and dirty, because I had no sound at all when that Bomberman cart was in. It actually there was no sound on Bust a Move. And that's why I started panicking. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Is there something wrong with my NEO GEO? And then I just started reseating things. And then all of a sudden I heard that glorious NEO GEO boot sound that I hadn't heard in a long time. And the first couple times it was making the sound, it sounded very strange, like it was missing a channel or two. So I don't know. So yeah, that's going to be about it. I think we all learned something. Actually, I'm curious what you guys think of what just happened in this video, because I don't even know what happened in this video. But you know what? Yeah, you know what? I kind of quit beer. I do drink it occasionally, like maybe a couple times a month, if that. Maybe even less. And I'm in the mood for a beer tonight. I don't know why. it just sounds really good to me. So why don't we have a beer and let's do some viewer mail. And by the way, guys, I gotta tell you, you know, May 29th and 30th, we are doing a John's Arcade Impossible Outsiders tournament at Fun Spot, okay? And if you guys aren't aware, you know, Fun Spot does a tournament every single year, okay? And I go every year, and I really look forward to that tournament, right? And what has happened, though, and I don't know why, they canceled the tournament this year. And it really bummed me out, okay? It bummed me out so much that I decided that, well, you know what? I'm not going to... I just can't accept this. I want my tournament. I like going up to Fun Spot every year in May and participating in that tournament. So I called up Gary Vincent at Fun Spot, who is the president of ACAM, which is the American Classic Arcade Museum inside Fun Spot. And by the way, we're having a Southern Tier 2-time stout It's a double milk stout. I've been trying these. Yes, actually, I'll tell you the truth. I bought 2 6-packs in like the last month. They are both these milk stouts. I bought this 6-pack. Just to illustrate here how much beer I'm not drinking. I bought the 6-pack like 2 weeks ago, and this is the second one I've had from it. And I just wanted to try something different. And I've been hearing about these milk stouts. And it's actually pretty decent. It's not as creamy as I want it to be, though. I want to find some of those with the nitro thing in there. Because if I'm going to have like a beer here and there, I want it to be a good one. And I want to try new stuff. But anyway, what I was saying was I contacted Gary, and he gave me the blessing to do a tournament there. And so we're going to be doing the John's Arcade, Arcade Outsiders, and Arcade Impossible tournament. So we're all going to be there. And I think it's going to be actually a really big event, okay? And Clint from Orcade is going to come and he's going to referee at the event. So it's going to be an official event. So all of the scores that we record at this tournament are going to count. Yeah, they're going to count, okay? So they're going to be recorded forever on the Orcade leaderboards. And I really want you guys to come. It's May 29th and 30th. It's at Fun Spot in New Hampshire. I have some details posted on Clove. I'll also post more details at arcadeoutsiders.com. And there is a thread about this on John's Arcade in the forums. So save the date. I'll tell you guys more about it as we get closer. But it's going to be awesome. It's going to be absolutely freaking awesome. Just trust me on this. It's going to be a good time. And it's an all ages thing. Anybody can come, you know, Fun Spot's a public place, so May 29th and 30th. All right, let's do some viewer mail and get out of here. I'm sorry if this is a weird video. I should release this, right? Because right now I'm still contemplating. Is this video even worth putting? Yeah, I think it is. Because you know what? What happened tonight is what happens in this hobby. This is just part of the deal. You don't know what's going to happen. You know, I don't script what happens down here. This is live without a net, really. I mean, I don't really do any editing. I mean, whatever happens, happens. And I usually put it out, and things go usually the way I want them to, but sometimes they don't because with this arcade stuff, you know, this is some old stuff, man. This stuff's from the 90s, the NEO GEO. So I'm dealing with stuff that's 20 some odd years old. So I don't know. We kind of learned something, I think. Well, we learned that I had a bootleg Mr. Duke cartridge, and I learned that by having that in my thing, it was taking out the sound in my whole system. And then also I reseeded the cartridges and the sound was fixed. I don't know. Anyway, let's do some viewer mail. If you guys want to participate in this, you guys send them to blkdog7@gmail.com, blackdog7@gmail.com. In the subject line, please put viewer mail. All right, so first one here is from Dylan. Hey, John. I have recently gotten into the arcade hobby after being very interested in your videos and the special charm that older electronics have to them. Here's my question. I have a Samsung 29-inch monitor that the previous owner had installed a Hung Yun chassis into it. Have you ever heard of these? When you know it, the flyback went out after just a few days of operation, and I cannot seem to find a replacement flyback for the life of me. Do you have any advice for me as far as what to do now? Should I invest my money into one of those knockoff universal replacement chassis? I really love your videos, and I think what you're doing is great. Thanks, John. Dylan Herod. P.S. I just bought t-shirts and sweatshirts, and I'm totally stoked for them to arrive. Okay, Dylan. Okay, your monitor. Okay, first of all, I've never seen a chassis that's Hung Yun, okay? I have heard about this. I've never personally encountered this, okay? I do want to say one thing to you guys, and this is for all of you. When you look at a monitor, okay, you look at the back, you see the tube, and you see a brand name on it, okay? It might say Toshiba, it might say Samsung, it could say Philips, it could say whatever. That's not the brand of monitor, guys. That's who made the tube, okay? Wells Gardner, Electro Home, all those guys put the monitor together, but they bought the tube from someone else, okay? So you'll get a monitor and you'll see a Philips sticker on it, or Magnavox, okay? You can't, that's not a Magnavox monitor, okay? you'll have a Wells Gardner monitor with a Magnavox tube. Well, Wells Gardner bought the tubes from Magnavox and they put their chassis in there, okay? So I suspect that's what's happening here. Now, the Hung Yun chassis, I believe, is on some of the later games, like on Time Crisis and Dance Dance Revolution. I've personally never encountered it. You say your flyback is bad. How do you know this? I don't know. What I would do, if you're not sure what to do, I think you should send an email to chad@arcadecup.com, okay? arcadecup.com. Chad is actually a very trustworthy guy. I've dealt with him before. He's a busy guy. He's got a lot of work lined up all the time with the monitor repairs, but he's a good guy to send your monitors to get fixed. And what I would do is I would reach out to him first. I would send him a photo of your chassis and say, Chad, can you help me with this? Do you have, if you're certain it's the flyback, I would ask Chad, do you have a flyback for this, okay? And if Chad says no, I guarantee you he will point you in the right direction. I think for something like this, you should reach out to Chad. It sounds like it's more of a specialty thing, and I guarantee you that he's come across this before. So go to arcadecup.com, email Chad. He's very responsive. Tell him what you have. See if he's got the part. You might be able to send him the chassis, and he'll just repair it for you and send it back. So I think that's going to be a good road for you. That's what I'm suggesting. And then also, thank you for buying the t-shirt and the sweatshirt. That means a lot, guys. And we've only got a couple days left in that campaign. So if you guys want a John's Arcade t-shirt, we started a campaign on Teespring at teespring.com/johnsarcade. That's teespring.com/johnsarcade. That campaign is going to end on March 17th, which is only a few days. So if you want to order a t-shirt, you need to do it now. And I want to thank you guys that have ordered the t-shirts, because I'm blown away, because we've sold right now 235 t-shirts. I mean, that is just stupid. So honestly, guys, thank you for supporting me in this channel by buying those t-shirts. It means a ton. And if you do want to get one, if you do want to support me, go to teespring.com/johnsarcade. You have until March 17th, 2015. All right, so this next one's from Jason Stark. And Jason has been messaging me a lot on YouTube saying, John, please read my email. Please read my email. And he's been saying this for a few weeks. And I said, Jason, I don't know where it is. Can you resend it? So he did. And he wants me to read it. And so we're going to read Jason's email. And Jason, I read your email before the show here, and I really hope I can help you, but I'm going to try, okay? It says, hey, John, Jason here. Huge fan of your channel. I wanted to tell you about my Golden Tee Complete and my Silver Strike Bowling 07 on my Golden... Okay, and then he says, on my Golden Tee Complete, I have a speaker that is out, and on my Silver Strike Bowling, I wanted to update to a Silver Strike 09 or live, but don't know what are your ideas and how to fix these problems. Please let me know. Also, I was wondering, when you're coming to the Dells to check out the arcades and game rooms in the area. Thanks, buddy. Also, if I get a JAMA kit for Golden Tee Complete and Silver Strike, can you install it for me? Thanks, Jason Stark. Well, all right, Jason. Okay, let's talk about what you're saying here. Okay, so Jason has a Golden Tee Complete and a Silver Strike. Okay, and he's got two dedicated machines here, and he sent me a photo, and that looks like a great setup. Those are two great cabinets, two really fun games, and I like that. That's a good setup. So Jason's wondering though, and he has a Silver Strike 07. Okay. First of all, he says he has a speaker that's out on his Silver Strike. Well, Jason, I think you need to do the simple stuff first. Let's go over to my Golden Tee, because I actually don't remember how it's set up. But I'm assuming that Golden Tee, it has two speakers. Okay, so Jason, you need to figure out, first of all, okay, you've got two speakers up here, right? There's one here, there's one here, okay? So you need to figure out what's going on up there. You need to deduce what's happening. And that's how I figure all this stuff out, I feel like I have some good, strong deduction skills, and if you do this enough and you start just thinking about it, you can kind of deduce where the issue is. Now, what you need to do first is you need to figure out if it's a connection issue, okay? You need to get in here, all right? You're going to have to take these security screws off and drop this thing out and make sure everything is plugged in, okay? All right, and then if you do that and you see that everything's plugged in, Well, then you got to figure out if the speakers are bad, okay? So swap the wires. Swap it from this speaker to that speaker. Okay, so if this speaker's working and this one's not, okay, well then take the wires from this speaker and put it on this speaker, okay? If it's not working, then switch them over again, this speaker to this speaker. See if you can get both speakers to do sound, okay? And if it's a speaker issue, well then replace the speaker. And that shouldn't be hard to do. You should be able to find a suitable replacement. Just figure out, you know, the size of the speakers and the ohm rating, which is probably, you know, stamped right on it. You know, it might say 10 watts or it's 10 watts, 3 ohm or whatever it is, you know, and replace the speaker. So if you determine that both speakers are good, and when you have connection, only one works, well, then you're gonna have to start looking elsewhere. You know, is your power good? Is the connection on the computer good? Because those wires run down to that Nighthawk computer, and you're gonna have to start looking at that kind of stuff. And then if that doesn't fix it, well, then you might have a computer issue, buddy. Could be a power issue, but I'm guessing that your issue is somewhere up in here. That's my hunch. Because if one speaker's working, something tells me that the issue's in here. It's probably a connection, a wire loose. Take this off and get in here and see what's going on. There's security screws, though. You're going to have to get yourself a set of security screws. You can get those on eBay, which is where I get mine. You know, just Google security bit on eBay or Amazon. You can find cheap sets. So, did I help you? Have you looked at the speakers? I mean, you got to start there. Something tells me that it's a very easy fix. Something tells me it's not a computer issue and that it's an issue with a connection, or maybe one of the speakers blew. I don't know. But you can figure that out pretty quick by deduction by swapping the wires around between the two speakers. And then he also wants to know about upgrading to 2009. Well, I don't know. Is it worth it to do that? I'm going to tell you, I have the original Silver Strike over there, which I think is, I think it's the 04 version. And I actually looked into getting 07 or even 09, and I actually backed off of the idea. Well, for one, it's an expensive upgrade, and two, it didn't feel like you were getting a lot for the money. So I stuck with 04. So if you've got 07, I suspect that 09 is not worth the hassle. Really research that topic, though, to see if you really want to invest in 09. Because I don't think you're gaining a lot from it. I really don't. I think you might be happy just staying with 07 and that's it. But if you look into 09, you look at the feature set and you think that you want to upgrade, you're going to have to get a new computer, a Nighthawk computer. It's about $500 or so. I don't think you can get an upgrade. You might be able to get an upgrade kit for those with the hard drive. But I think eBay is going to be your best bet for the Silver Strike stuff. And if I come out to the Dells, which I've been to many times as a Chicago native, we all went to Wisconsin. Can I help you install your switcher kit? Jason, no. I can't. I don't think I'll come to your house and help you. I won't. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't see myself stopping by your house and working on your stuff. I'm sorry, nothing personal. If I were out there, I probably wouldn't be able to do that. So I'm sorry, Jason. I would love to be able to do that, but I can't. So, but Jason, I hope I helped you. I really do. I know you really wanted me to read this email. But I love your setup, though. I love Golden Tee and Silver Strike. Those are two great games. And that Perfect Switcher kit, though, is very easy to install. It really is, Jason. Don't be afraid of it. In my Golden Tee video, I kind of showed the connections and all that, so it wasn't that hard. All right, the next one here is from Erie. It says, John, thank you so much for dedicating your time to educate us all on how to keep our arcade games alive. I've learned so much from you, and I'm addicted at this point. I have a few questions. What happened to that Craigslist Commando game? That was the first video of yours I stumbled across, and I don't remember hearing about the game after you fixed it. I just picked up a NEO GEO 4 slot, and all 4 EL papers are burnt out and need replacing. Is replacing them as easy as soldering the 2 leads per EL paper? I found them for $22 each at Glow Hut. Any ideas where to get them cheaper? That's a lot of buffets. I am an arm amputee, and I'm looking for a bit of advice. I shudder at the thought of putting a flight stick on any of my games in place of a joystick, but I want to play the games in my collection. Having one arm, I cannot hit the buttons and work the joystick at the same time. Do you have any alternatives for the joystick button combos that would take the place of a Xenophobe or Tron-type flight stick? I found a decent ratcheting Molex pin crimper on Amazon for $23, he says. And it looks like this. If anyone is interested, it's a cheaper alternative to the awesome crimpers Buffett loaned you. My wife helped me replace the edge connector in my Miss Pac-Man, and it worked like a charm on the pins. He says, search Amazon for HT-225D, HT-225D to find it. And those do look pretty good for 23 bucks, and it's a ratcheting one. The ratcheting ones are great because it kind of holds the piece in place while you put the wire in it, and then you can cramp it down like the Molex one that Buffett lent me. And yes, I will return that to Buffett one of these days. Thanks, Erie High. Yes, that's my real name. And his collection is a NEO GEO 4-slot, a Miss Pac, Asteroids Deluxe, a Mat Mania, a Bolorama, a Crystal Castles, Operation Thunderbolt, Cruising USA Sit-Down, SVC Chaos, Initial 3D Sit-Down, a MAME and a Golden Tee Cab, a World Wrestling Federation WrestleFest, a Prospector Crane game, that's fun, and Tokyo Cop. That's a great collection, dude. All right, so he says he's an amputee, and he only has the use of one arm, and he was wondering if there was alternatives. I mean, I get that, you know, so that must be frustrating, dude. I'm sorry, man. I mean, you want to play these games, but how do you hit the buttons? I think you're going to have to get some joysticks with buttons on the top, right? Or a Tron-type stick, like you said. I know you said you would hate to do that, but how else would you be able to, you know, that would be a good Ben Heck thing, by the way. That would be a great Ben Heck project. Because Ben does a lot of that stuff with the one-handed controllers. Boy, you know what? That's something I can bring up to him. That's not a bad idea, actually. I think he's doing a one-handed pinball thing. Because Ben Heck and I are supposed to do a project. But anyway, okay, so what would Ben come up with? Well, you know, I went on Suzo Hap's website, okay? And here's a joystick right here that's got a button on top. How would that work? Okay, if you go to Suzo Hap, they've got a lot of flight sticks to choose from, a lot of different joysticks. But I thought this joystick didn't look too bad, and I think playing the joysticks. I remember back in the day, like the 2600 had those joysticks with the buttons on the top. Maybe you can get used to that. I know it's not as good as it might be a little better than the flight stick. What do you think of that? I thought that looked pretty decent. It's $36. The flight sticks that they sell are really expensive, like 140 bucks. So Erie, go to Suzo Hap, okay? Now, you don't necessarily have to buy it from them. They have some high prices, but maybe you can get some ideas and then Google this stick elsewhere. But $36 doesn't seem too bad for that. I have bought stuff from Hap. I remember in a previous video, someone yelled at me for recommending Suzo Hap. They thought they were bandits. But, you know, the thing about Suzo Hap is, though, they're really set up to deal with operators, not guys like me in my basement who order for them twice a year. So if you order one item, or if you don't have an account with them, they probably charge a much higher price. But I would go there to get some ideas. Go to Suzo Hap and take a look at their joystick selection. I mean, I don't know, besides doing something like this, how you could play a game with one hand and hit buttons. They did have some flight sticks, I noticed, with multiple buttons too. So if you had a game that required two buttons, you could have two buttons in the top here, and then a trigger too. I think that's 3 buttons total, right? So 1, 2, and a trigger. That might not be too bad. So yeah, check out Suzo Hap. And then Erie, thanks for the email, and thanks for the recommendation for those crimpers. I think some of you guys will find that useful. I might actually order one of those just to check it out for 23 bucks, man. And the fact that you can easily order it on Amazon, that's pretty hot. So, all right, guys, that's gonna do it for this little midweek video. This is a bonus video. It's not my Sunday video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry if it was strange and unintended. I mean, the outcome here was not intended. But you know what? I kind of committed to doing it. I'm like, you know what? Let's just keep going. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And then I'll release a video this weekend. I think we do need to do part number 2 of the Gottlieb power supply this weekend, because the game's down right now. So we have to test it. So we'll probably do that this weekend. And then I want to get in the garage. The weather is really getting great, guys. It really is. The weather is breaking. It's in the 50s. I mean, I can work in the garage now. We're at that point now. I know at night it's getting pretty cold, but we're pretty much there where I can be in the garage. So I'm pretty jazzed by that. So anyway, I release new videos on Sundays and sometimes in between like this one. So if you want to subscribe, if you want to keep up, you got to press that subscribe button. I have 2 podcasts, Arcade Outsiders and Video Game Outsiders. Both of them, arcadeoutsiders.com, videogameoutsiders.com. Both are live Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on allgames.com. And then during the week, you can download them on iTunes or Stitcher and all that stuff. And then what else? That's it. You know, if you guys want the John's Arcade t-shirt, go to teespring.com/John's Arcade. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I'll see you next time. Later, and bye.